if they can keep this up, and if they continue to add content and change things up, and if the gameplay does not stale quickly, I think this game has the chance to really be a contender in BRs. Okay, so I've had about like probably 7-ish hours in Warzone so far. And I mean, God, this could definitely change, especially over time. I mean, it's really going to depend how long this game lasts based on like what the developers do, how well they support the game, and, you know, if they continue to add content. I don't know, you know, what the actual lifespan of how long it's going to continue to be fun is. I'm very optimistic, but so far Warzone is just loads of fun. Mostly because, I mean, it's fresh, it's different, it's got new mechanics to it. They're doing a couple things different that from other battle royales that are just really enjoyable, like I talked about in my last video. But after actually getting my hands on it, like, what really makes this game mode thrive is the action. And I mean, this is what I'm seeing a lot of streamers, pro players are saying already. I mean, we're only one day into the game, so trying to hold off on, you know, final opinions, but like, the thing about this game is that it's non-stop action. You know, I found myself like 5 or 6 games in yesterday, and I had a kind of slow game. I only had like 4 kills. I was having trouble finding enemies, and 4 kills in, I hadn't found anyone in like 3 minutes, and I was complaining, which is so rare in a battle royale, because like sometimes you go a while without finding enemies in a battle royale, and like it was just that the tone that was set for me with the first few games that I played that totally changed my perception of how much action I expected to find, because like almost every game I played yesterday was just like non-stop. Like there was always, like, if you weren't going to a supply drop, if you weren't getting a loadout drop, or like buying new streaks, or engaging, like you were always just fighting, you were always chasing someone down, there was always shots around. And I really didn't expect that. When I saw how big this map was, like, that didn't even cross my mind. I actually was worried that this was going to be a slower, more PUBG-like game. And the thing is, it is sort of like PUBG. I think it does a lot of the best things that PUBG did better, or at least as well. It captures a lot of the same kind of cerebral momentum that PUBG had. It gets my heart racing sometimes. It's just very fast paced. I really enjoy the mid to long range action in this game, but the close range action is not bad at all either. It's still high octane, still really fun, and it's got that kind of Call of Duty arcade style feel in the close range action. But when it comes to long range, I love sniping. I love hitting those mid-range AR tracking shots. So yeah, I mean, that's the biggest surprise in this game for me so far, is that like 150 people, much bigger map size, it at least feels like. I expected that to move slower, but what was so genius here was the gulag mechanic, and the way that players respond so often because their teammates are either buying them back or they're getting out of the gulag. It keeps so many players still in the game while you still get kills. So like as the zone shrinks, like you'll feel like you're getting towards the end of the game and there's still 100 people left. Like you'll have played for like what feels like 10 minutes long, and there's still 100 people left in the lobby. That's so many more people to kill. So it gives, especially for streamers and content creators, it gives you so much room to play and get more kills and do more things and constantly be moving. And that's something that always bothers me when I play other games like Apex or PUBG. I mean, yes, as a streamer, you enjoy a little bit of downtime. You like to be able to hang out and talk and goof off. But like, you always, especially when you're on stream, you feel like when you're just wandering around, if you're not finding fights, you feel like everything is boring. You're having to fill space, and you don't have to do that in this game. You're always thinking, you're always paying attention to what's coming next. So, yeah, I think, and this seems to be kind of a consensus so far. Everyone seems to be saying it's just nonstop. You're always going, you're always tracking people down. And also, you know, you don't feel, I mean, not that you don't play your life, but when you're operating in this game, you don't feel the need to constantly play for your life, because especially early game, I can grab a weapon and chase down a guy, and if I die, I'm going to the gulag. And I mean, I'm probably expecting to win that, especially early on in the game, because a lot of the bad players are in gulag. A lot of those gulag fights early on are easy, and even later on, I mean, if you're good at 2v2s or you've practiced this kind of thing, you can do a lot of damage in gulag. So like you can expect to have the chance to get out. And then also your teammates can revive you. It's not that hard to find $4,500 cash and revive you. You get revived multiple times a match. When I'm playing, I mean, if you get like 5 or 6 kills, which doesn't feel that hard, you can revive your teammates like endlessly. You're constantly finding cash. So it doesn't feel, it's like it captures the BR feel and the high stakes gameplay, but you don't get screwed over with that like stressful, oh god, I died, now I have to wait 10 more minutes to get back into a match, now I have to stare at my teammate play for 10 minutes while they slink around the map. It's like, it feels like the game doesn't end for a long time. So I mean, I think that is something, it's honestly, I never thought about doing this with a BR. The whole gulag mechanic, the way that respawns work, the 150 people, I honestly didn't expect those things to be like what I would get out of a Call of Duty game, let alone a BR game. And I also didn't expect them to be what I loved the most. So, yeah, I mean, I love the way this game is playing so far. And if they can keep this up and if they continue to, add content and change things up, and if the gameplay does not stale quickly, I think this game has the chance to really be a contender in BRs. I mean, I don't know about the competitive scene. I don't know if there will be any competitive scene, but just on a casual level, as a player base content creator level, I think this game has potential to stick around for a while because it's free to play, which means you can get a lot more players on it. It's on console, it's on console and Xbox. It's on PS4 and Xbox and PC. So you've got this massive player base for it. You can play with all your friends, even if you own different consoles. The cat's shitting behind me. But yeah, I think this game has all the tools that it needs to really thrive, and I think it's totally up to the developers to make sure this game remains at least somewhat balanced, somewhat interesting. Things like the contracts really help with the interesting factor. Collecting a bounty is really fun. You know, if they keep adding things, if the map ends up changing at all, or if they add more maps, or you know, just continue to flow with the content, I think this game has potential to be a real staple in the Call of Duty franchise, because as we know, you know, they still do sell a lot of copies. I mean, people are kind of stale about the generic multiplayer experience in Call of Duty. I think this can really freshen things up, and the way that they've released this, it seems like it's kind of a standalone thing. You know, Blackout was a part of Black Ops 4. This game, it feels like it stands alone, and it could maybe even outlast into the next COD game that comes out. So the real question is going to be, when the next COD title comes out, what happens to this game? Does it lose its support? Does it lose its player base? Does it kind of fade into the wind? There's really no telling about whether or not that's going to happen, so we'll just have to wait and see. But so far, I'm absolutely loving the gameplay that I'm getting, and I'm just stoked to keep grinding it. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now. Thanks for watching. Leave a like on this YouTube video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. We got nightly streams up in here most weeknights by 9 p.m. so feel free to drop in and say hi. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.